Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Namaste. So we concluded the first chapter. Now let's begin the second chapter. It's called as Sankhya Yoga. The chapter's name is Sankhya Yoga. So the second chapter, it actually summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita in the second chapter. So it's like a summary of the next 16 chapters. So there are totally 18 chapters. So in that, the second chapter gives a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it's like it contains all the important concepts, like in a nutshell, whether it's Karma Yoga, whether it's Jnana Yoga, whether it's Bhakti Yoga, whether it's Raja Yoga, everything is summarized in this second chapter. Okay, so in the last chapter, we saw that Arjuna was going on and on about that why he does not want to fight. Okay, so he spoke in length about the consequences of war and what that will do to him, and why is he not ready to fight. He does not want any of the richness. Even if they are going to come and kill him, it is fine with him, but he does not want to go and kill any of his. He sees that it is his teacher, it is his grandfather, it is his cousins, it is uncle. So he does not want to do any of those things because they all are his family members. So I do not want to fight, is what Arjuna was talking about it. Now, for a minute, we all thought, right, that Arjuna was a very kind-hearted warrior. He does not want to harm anybody. Even if he gets killed, it's fine with him, but he does not want to harm anybody. Such an idealistic person and an idealistic thought. But Arjuna's reasoning did not come from Viveka and Vairagya. Now, what is this Viveka and Vairagya? So it's the two steps of the Sadhana Chatustaya. So before we proceed with the verses, let's look at what is Sadhana Chatustaya also. Okay? So there are the four parts. Chatustaya is four. Viveka, Vairagya, Shat Sampat, Mumukshutva. Now, what are these? Viveka is discrimination between the real and the apparent. That is, what is real, what is an illusion, what is required, what is not required. Okay, so it helps us to distinguish between what is redundant in this world and that which what is useful, what is essential for making ourselves fit into the path of spirituality or into the path of self-realization or knowledge of the truth. So we come across, so it's you can even look at it like, is it a materialistic world? Is it a spiritual world? What is it that we want to fall into? Because the materialistic world is a very temporary one. What is going to be permanent is the knowledge of the truth. So whatever knowledge which is redundant, and what is the knowledge that will take us forward in knowing the truth. So that identification, the discrimination of what is real and what is unreal, that is Viveka. Now, what is Vairagya? So now in the Vairagya, what it is we know that there is something which we need to reject. There is something which we need to hold on. So the freedom from what are the likes and the dislikes. So we get attached. No, I want this, I want this, I don't want that. So Vairagya is through the Viveka, through the discriminative power of us to identify what is real and unreal. We take the Vairagya to take out, to remove. We see in Viveka, it's just the knowledge part. We understand that this is real. We understand that this is unreal. Now, in Vairagya, we are implementing the real part. We are taking the unreal part. We are taking it away from us. So, Viveka and Vairagya goes hand in hand. Without the discriminative knowledge, we will not be moving into the Vairagya mode. Now it's like a lot of people say Vairagya is renunciation. Okay, now I'll go to the Himalayas. I'll go and sit there and meditate. But the actual Vairagya is when I may go to Himalayas, but if I am thinking as to what's happening in my house, what's happening with my family members, are they all fine? So the constant worry about what is there, that is not Vairagya. You may have gone physically, but you've still left your emotional body and left from there, then that does not help. So you need to understand, because that is also unreal there. I'm not telling the family is unreal. What I'm saying is the emotional attachment that we are having, that's again temporary. We will not be bound to that all the time. When we move out, when death comes in, then this emotional attachment goes away. So it's a very temporary thing. So to identify that through Viveka and to implement that through Vairagya. Now, what are the Shad Sampat? So that is, there are 6 virtues that we have. We will go in detail as to what is Shad Sampat. So to identify what are the 6 virtues that one should be having. Okay. So one is Sama, the restraint of the mind. Okay. So the determination on our part to be calm, quiet, okay, without, under any given condition. You may have an aggressive situation with you, or you may have, so when everything is calm, I am calm. And if the moment the situation changes outside, I lose my calmness and I become aggressive. That is not samadhan. I am able to restrain my mind, whether it is a calm situation or it is an aggressive situation. Where whatever is the situation, whatever are the circumstances, we have a hold of our mind. That is the Sama part. Now the Dhamma is restraint of the sense organs. That's the most difficult part, isn't it? We say that, okay, let's see everything. Everything is there in front of the eyes. Let me see it. Everything is there. I'm able to hear everything. So what? So, then it's like we are not able to use the Viveka to identify what's good for me and what's not good for me. Okay, we will go through the Shreyas and Prayas also. We will talk about the good and the pleasant part of it once we come to the Bhagavad Gita verses. But right now, restraint of the sense organs, because this is where we lose control of even the mind, okay, because of the lack of control of our sense organs. So I'm not telling that, you need to hate everything. Okay, it's not, you want to avoid it, doesn't mean you need to hate it. You're able to handle it well. You need to know when, like, for example, if a person is diabetic, he's not supposed to be having a lot of sweets. He definitely needs to have a restraint of his tongue, okay, so that he does not have those sweets and create trouble for him. Okay, so that is restraint of the sense organs. Now, it need not be that only a diabetic person. So I'm just giving you an example here. But there are so many things, like, for example, eating junk food, okay, and spoiling our system is again restraint. So if you are able to have that restraint over your tongue, it's not just the eating part, even the talking part. Okay, what is it that I need to talk? How should be the way I approach? That is again restrainment. I'm angry. That doesn't mean that I can spill out any bad words that comes out from my mouth. Okay, so I need to have a control over my tongue. Similarly, the seeing part. What is it that I need to be looking at, and what I need to be avoiding that? Okay, when it comes to hearing, what is it that I need to be giving my attention to listen to certain things? What is something which I do not want to listen? Okay, so do not listen to any negative talks, do not listen to any gossips, only listen to certain good talks which will help me out. So that's again restrainment of the sense organs. Next is the Uparati. Uparati is cessation of all worldly longings. It doesn't mean that, okay, leave out everything, but then we need to have the Viveka to say, because a desire cannot be quenched by the fulfillment of desire. I think all of us would have gone through that. We say that we want something and I will be very happy. Say, suppose I want to buy the latest mobile phone, okay, and that will make me happy. An iPhone. I brought it, okay, but then the next day you will hear that there is a new product which is launched in Apple, and that the new iPhone has better features. Suddenly, your happiness is gone because you would have bought a new mobile phone, new iPhone, yeah, and then you're very happy, but the next day you hear that there is another latest phone which has been launched and that has more features. Suddenly your happiness. So desires cannot be quenched by the fulfillment of the desire, because you only by doing that you're only gathering more and more desires and not the stoppage of it. So here we are saying that what is needed, what is not needed, and then have that stopping of all these worldly longings, because we will never be satisfied having those things. This one, once you get one, the heart craves for another one. When you get that, then another one, then another one, then so there is no end to it. So uparati is cessation. You need to decide, okay, this is what it is, and then stick to that. Okay. Next is the titiksha. So for uparati or for sama, dhamma, uparati, titiksha is the major thing. That is, it helps to give you that endurance. It helps to give you that tolerance. Okay, to restrain your mind, to restrain your sense organs, restrain of the desires. So titiksha is to be in a state where you're able to be in a mode of equilibrium. Okay. So there is a very old saying, which is very beautiful. Give me the power to change what I can, the will to bear what I cannot, and the wisdom to know the difference. So whatever I can change, give me that power. Whatever that I cannot change, give me the willpower so that I can bear, and I need to accept that this cannot be changed. And the next one is the wisdom to know which can be changed, which is in my control, which is not in my control. The next one is Shraddha. So the faith. So for all these things, you need to have the faith in what you are asking for. Whether it is, even if it is titiksha, you need to have that faith in your own self first. Okay. So first is the faith in your own self. Second is faith in the method of practice which you are adopting. Faith in your guru, okay, who has helped you get to that practice, and faith in the existence of God. Okay, that is Shraddha. And next is Samadhana or Samadhana. It is Samadhana, is concentration of the mind. So being attentive on that which you are seeking. You have the faith now. So now you need to have the focus. You need to have the concentration. So you can fix that whatever is there in your consciousness, whatever is there in your mind, you make it fruitful. Okay. So that is the Shad Sampat. So if one has all of these, okay, then his path towards the self-realization is much, much easier. So now coming back to, we saw only Shad Sampat, right? And the Mumukshutva is the burning desire, the intense longing, okay, to move away or to get free from this dependence on this worldly life. Which, well, it's not that, okay, oh, is it death? No. What it is the dependence on this world for my happiness. That intense longing to understand that this world, I'm not dependent on this world for my happiness. My happiness is in understanding the Viveka, going with the Vairagya, with the Shad Sampat. That will help me to move forward. So that is what is needed. So this is Sadhana Chatustaya. So now coming back to what Arjuna was telling, that he does not want to fight, is not coming from Viveka and Vairagya. It is coming from emotional attachment. He's more and more into saying that this is mine, this is my people. So that the emotional attachment is which is making Arjuna talk in this way, and it's not coming out of Viveka and Vairagya. So that is what we saw in the first chapter. But if you look at it, the whole chapter was talking about, Arjuna, whatever he was feeling. And Krishna, as a very good teacher, was a very good listener, because the quality of a good teacher is to listen to the students' problems and then accordingly show them the path. Okay, so here Krishna is a good teacher because he was a very good listener. So then now in the second chapter, he sets the agenda very clearly for Arjuna as to what he should be doing, what he should not be doing, why he should be doing. All those things will be explained from here on. Okay. So let's look at the verse 1. Sanjaya uvacha tantatha kripayavishtam अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः. So, the beginning, Sanjaya is continuing whatever he is seeing in the war. He is giving a commentary, or he's giving as to whatever is happening. He's been reporting that to Dhritarashtra because of the vision that we have already understood from where Sanjaya gets the vision. So Arjuna is still overwhelmed. Sanjaya is telling Arjuna is still overwhelmed with pity. His mind, he's very depressed and his eyes are full of tears. His hands are not lifting the Gandhivam. His legs are not able to hold his weight. And that is what he was in a state of despair. And so seeing Arjuna in that state, Sri Krishna spoke the following words. That's what Sanjaya is telling. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Kutastva Vishame Samupasthitam Anarya Jushtamasvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. So the Lord Krishna, now he says, still here he was listening, and now he tells to Arjuna, what are you doing? So he says that on the day of the battle, instead of fighting like a warrior, why have you gone so weak? Okay. And he's trying to say that, you call yourselves as Aryans. We all call ourselves as Aryans. And is this the way Aryans behave? Okay, now, the moment we say Aryans, why did Krishna use the word Aryans? And what is Aryan? Now, that is a very, there's a lot of misconception about the word Aryans. So a lot of Westerners started to come out and propagate this idea that Vedas were not written by people from Bharatam. Said that some few people from the European countries, they came, they invaded us. So the people who were residents of Bharatam, they were invaded and they were pushed down towards the south, the Dravidians, and Aryans ruled over the northern part of India, and they are the ones who wrote the Vedas. So there is an Aryan invasion theory which is there. Okay. And then they were not able to prove it. And then they said that, okay, fine, they did not invade. I think they would have migrated. Then there was an Aryan migration theory which happened. Okay, but both of it are not the right thing, because Vedas were written by the people of Bharatam. Okay, it is an indigenous culture that we have. The Vedas are part of the Bharatam itself. Now, we'll look into what does Aryan mean. Arya word, what it is. So we have it from Rigveda itself. The definition of Arya Jyotiragraha, which means what? Aryan is not a clan or a race. If you look into it deeper, and we understand exactly the meaning of it, then it says that it is not a clan or a race, because Jyoti is jnana of light, knowledge of light, and Ragraha is front, which means one who keeps the light of knowledge in front, in the forefront, is an Arya. What is this light of knowledge in the front? That is one who takes priority of understanding the knowledge, one who is progressive in nature, one who is evolving in nature is an Arya. Okay, so this word telling that somebody came and invaded us is not the right one. It means that people of Bharatam were progressive in nature, wanted to understand the true knowledge. Okay. Now, if that is the case, then you say, then what is Dravida then? Are there people who are not progressive then? That's also not right, because the original word of Dravida, which was earlier, is Dramila. Dramila was the original word, and the dhatu, the Sanskritam words, have a root word which is called as the dhatu. So this dhatu for both Arya and Dramila is Drgatau. Drgatau means progressive and gentle. So all the Sanskritam words has a dhatu, and from the dhatu we identify what is the exact meaning of it. Okay. So the word Arya and Dravida is coming from the same dhatu, Drgatau, which is meaning progressive and gentle. So both Arya and Dravida means one who is progressive in nature, one who is evolving in nature, one who is progressing towards God realization or self-realization. Now, why did Krishna say like this? You are, you call yourself Aryan, and why you behaving like this? You're bringing infamy, and you're going against their wisdom. Yeah, whatever they had brought in, that rich culture, the understanding of God realization, you've forgotten all that, and you're behaving like this. So that's not Aryans we are supposed to be behaving. Okay, so why, instead of somebody is very depressed, instead of comforting, you're trying to scold him, you're telling him that what is this, you're not behaving, you're not giving respect to your ancestors were completely in the search of knowledge, and look at you, what are you doing? So there are different ways to awaken somebody, right? So when a person is depressed, even the psychologists use a lot of methods in different ways to see what is the cause for it, or how do we make this person come out of the situation. So we use different tactics, right? So similarly, here Sri Krishna is trying to use a method where, by saying that you are not giving respect to your ancestors, you're doing this to them, you are not giving any whatever knowledge that they had gathered, you are not able to even take it forward, but instead you're going down, okay, not being progressive in nature. So by telling that, so sometimes such words help somebody to understand, where am I going wrong, why am I going wrong, and they might turn towards the right path. Okay, so Sri Krishna wanted to channelize Arjuna's thoughts in the right direction, so he was giving this particular reason. So sometimes, when we are facing a turmoil, when we are facing a challenge, we need to also take it positively, that, there's something, because of this challenge, okay, I might be able to learn something. I might be able to grow as an individual. Most of the time we do that, right? Whenever there are any challenges, it helps us, one, to identify which state are we in. Okay. How strong are we in handling that situation? The only thing is, we don't really introspect on it. We don't do a self-reflection on it. And that's why we just take it and then we just move on. But whenever there is a challenge, and if we are able, when we face that, maybe with initially through a lot of difficulties, but eventually we come out of that situation, it's a nice time for us to self-reflect. We need to do an introspection as to, what did this situation teach me? Okay. whether did that situation make you more stronger than what you were before. And most of the time it does make us stronger and stronger. We are more matured as we go in this path of life. So here, that is why challenges are good, because it helps us to evolve as a better person. Okay. क्लैभ्यमास्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप. So here again Sri Krishna is continuing and he's saying, Partha, don't yield yourself to unmanliness. Show your, not this is manliness is not here talking about the physical strength, but your mental strength, your emotional strength. So Krishna is a very skillful teacher. He knows how to, really teach, get Arjuna to understand. So he's not giving everything in a platter and saying, these things. He wants Arjuna to think through. He wants Arjuna to reflect. He wants Arjuna to do an introspection and learn, because the knowledge is there within everybody. It is just that we need to awaken that knowledge. So that is what Krishna is trying to do here. He first reprimands Arjuna. He says, do not to yield to this unmanliness. And he says, you rise and vanquish the enemy. Uttishta, rise up and vanquish the enemy. That is what he's trying to do. Let's see what Arjuna is telling now. Arjuna uvacha katham bhishmamaham sankhye द्रोणं च मधुसूदना इषुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हावरिसूदना. So Arjuna Sri Krishna reprimands Arjuna, but still Arjuna is not able to. He's still confused and he's saying that, how can I fight, Krishna? What are you talking? Okay, I'm not able to fight. I cannot aim the arrows at Bhishma and Drona because they are my teacher, my grandfather. I will not do that. I've decided that I cannot fight. Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhoktum bhaikshamapi haloke hatvarthakamastu guruni haiva kuntinya bhogan rudhira pradighan. So Arjuna continues and he says that, I would content myself even if I don't have anything, even if I just have a begging bowl, that is also okay for me, but I'm not going to kill these teachers of mine. I'm not going to have the blood of my people in my hands. I'm not going to do that, is what Arjuna continues to repeat to Krishna. So here, there is a story of Macbeth, Shakespeare's play, where this person is not able to enjoy even the natural state of sleep. Why? Because of his guilty conscience. So forget about the wealth, power, everything that is coming, even by doing something immoral, but losing sleep because of that. So that is what is there in this play. So Macbeth was a noble person in Scotland. He was a nobleman of Scotland. So once while traveling, the king, he's going around and it gets a little dark, and then he becomes very tired, similar to every Purana story. So like that, a king comes and he asks shelter from Macbeth's house. So Macbeth, being a good person, he invites the king in and gives him shelter for the night. But Macbeth's wife, she sees that it's the king. So she starts to incite the, provoke the husband and says that, why don't we kill the king and then you can usurp the throne. You can become the king then. Okay, so, and Macbeth, he gets swayed by her advice Okay, and he assassinates the king. And then he and Lady Macbeth, that is his wife, will be crowned as the king and queen of Scotland. But even after years after that, also, no, it seems Macbeth was found walking in his palace, fully awake at the night. He wasn't able to sleep. And the author Shakespeare writes, Macbeth hath killed sleep, and so Macbeth shall sleep no more. He did not kill the king, but he killed his sleep. And the queen, it seems, used to repeatedly wash her hands as if to remove the blood stains from her hands, the imaginary blood stain. So in this verse also, Arjuna is telling, I don't want to kill these noble elders, okay, because I will be tainting myself with their blood. So his conscience would not let him enjoy any of the royal benefits, even if he wins the war, even if he gets the palace, every riches, but he will not be able to enjoy any of those. His conscience, he will have a very guilty conscience. He will not be able to live his life. Na chaitadvidmah kataranno gariyo yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषाम तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः. In the first chapter, verse number 35, Arjuna says, Etana hantumichami. I do not want to kill them. In the next verse, verse number 36, he says, Nihatya dharta rashtranaha. And in 37, he says, Tasmanarha vayam hantum. I'll not kill, I'll not kill, I do not want to kill. This is what he keeps telling. He was not afraid of dying. He was afraid of killing. Now he started telling, Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Says, we may win or we may not. Yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu. Either we win or we may not win. Yeah. So he started changing again. Yeah. And he says, now he is, so his, that first chapter, all he was only talking about killing, that he does not want to kill. But here he's saying that I may be killed also here. So he started feeling that fear. He started feeling the doubt. His own confidence is going down. Okay. So now he fears that he may even lose the war. So we all also experience this in our lives, isn't it? That nervousness followed by fear of losing, fear of failure. Yeah, the confidence starts to deplete in us. So this is again similar to our situation also, that we also come across this kind of low confidence when we are very nervous. कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधिमां त्वां प्रपन्नम्. So here says, my heart is overpowered by the taint of pity. My mind is confused. I don't know what is my duty. So I'm asking you. So now what Arjuna is now talking is very, very different. So till then, he was talking about, in the first chapter, we saw he talks about killing. He talks about his confidence. He says that, as a preacher, he starts talking about the consequences of war. He gives a dharma discourse to Krishna, all that. But now he says, I am your disciple. Instruct me what I need to do. Take refuge. I'm taking refuge in you. You give me the advice what I should be doing. So now, till now, Arjuna was looking at Krishna as a friend. I'm your friend. I'm your cousin. That is what it was. But now, te aham shishyaha. I am your disciple. So that is where it came to now. Yeah. Says, Shadhiman tva prapannam. I surrender to you completely. Tell me what is good for you. So now he's moved into that. What is good for me? So let's look at what is good. Yeah. So we'll see in Kathopanishad, Anyat Shreyonyadutaiva Preyaste Ubhe Nanarthe Purusham Sinitaha Tayoho Shreya Adadanasya Sadhurbhavati Hiyate Arthadya U Preyo Vrinite. So he says that one thing is good and one thing is pleasant. So he's talking about Shreyas and Preyas. We will see also in the next verse of Kathopanishad. Shreyascha Preyascha Manushyametas Tau Samparitya Vivinakti Dhiraha Shreyo hi dhiro bhi prayaso vrinite Preyo mando yoga kshemad vrinite. So the good and the pleasurable both approach man. One who has the viveka understands that these are two, and the intelligent one prefers good than the pleasant, and the non-intelligent. This is not talking about the buddhi here, he's talking about the viveka part. With the right viveka, the one with the right viveka chooses good over the pleasant. The one without the viveka chooses the pleasant and leaves the good. So one who chooses the good is one who moves towards the path of growth, and the other one is only being in a state of temporary happiness, which is not going to help him evolve into a self-realized being. But Shreyas is absolute good. Good for all, irrespective of time, place, and circumstance. We'll see that in detail. So Shreyas is that which is good. It may not be very pleasant, but it is good. And Preyas is which is pleasant, but may not be good. Now, what is this difference? Let's understand it a little more better, little more in detail. Yeah. Now, isn't good health good for all? It cannot be that, oh, it's good for me and it's not good for the other person. It's universal. It's good for all. Good health is good for all. Yeah. So, do we go with our taste buds or do we go with healthy food? We say healthy food because that is what is good. It may not be pleasant. I want to eat a lot of sweets. I want to eat a lot of junk food, which is very tasty, which is very good for which is very pleasant to my tongue, but it is not good for me. Isn't peace of mind good for all? Yeah. So do we choose temporary relief or permanent happiness? Yeah, think over it. So sometimes we lie to escape temporarily, right? To escape. But we are always in the fear of being caught. So are we good then? No, we are not. It may be very pleasant initially. Yeah. Temporarily we escape. We are in a happy state. But that doesn't stay because we always have that fear. Isn't clarity of thought good for all? But so it's like mugging up versus concept understanding. I can mug up and I can score very good marks. That is being pleasant. But is that good? Because the next class when I have to go and I have to apply this concept, I don't know because I was just memorizing it. So what is good? What is pleasant? Okay, so it's nice to give it a little time to self-reflect and see in your own words if you can write what is Shreyas according to you, what is Preyas, what are the things that you do under the Preyas category, and what are the things that you do under the Shreyas category. and then reflect on those prayers and see that whether are you doing the right things. Okay, it's something which you can take it up as an activity. So Bhagavad Gita is not just listening to the chants or learning the chants or even listening to the meaning of it. It is for your own application, applying it in our life. That is what Sri Krishna wanted. So it's not that he was just giving a lecture to Arjuna because he had a lot of time sitting in the war. He was only a charioteer. He didn't have to fight. And anyway, he had told that he's not going to take up any weapons. So sit there, time pass, what to do. He'll get bored. So let me give some theory talk to Arjuna. That was not the intention. It was, he wanted Arjuna to apply it. And not only Arjuna, he wanted every one of us to apply this in our lives and make our lives more meaningful. So do not just listen to it. Please take this as an activity, as something which you can do a swadhyaya, self-learning. Swadhyaya means self-learning. So take that up and see what is it that I need to work on. Okay. Coming back to Arjuna. Arjuna so now is requesting Krishna, you be my guru, I'm your disciple, take me in, take me under you. So he's saying that he's overpowered by karpanya dosham. So he's having that quality of covered eyes. He's ignorant right now. So, give me the right wisdom, give me the right knowledge. Okay. So he says, dharma sammoda chetaha. Confused. I'm confused as to what is my duty now. I don't know what to do. Okay. So this is a point where he says, no, I really don't know what to do. I'm not able to think well because maybe I'm ignorant. Yeah, I don't know the right path. Show me, I'm your disciple. Take me in and show me the right path. Second is karpanya dosha. So it's ignorance because of the overpowering of the sorrow. Why? Because of the ignorance. My ignorance is creating this sorrow, and this sorrow is overpowering me and not allowing me to do what I need to do. I'm thoroughly confused. There is another one as to what is karpanya. The meaning of karpanya, you can see it in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Okay. Yova etadaksharam kargya vidittvasmim loke juhoti yajate tapastapyate bahuni varshasahasrani antavadevasya tadbhavati yova etadaksharam kargya vidittvasmallokat praiti sa kripanaha atha ya etadaksharam gargi vidittvasmallokat praiti sa brahmanaha. So in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is this talk about the definition of kripanaha. So there is a word kripanaha, sa kripanaha. Who is this kripanaha? The definition of kripanaha is given in this. So let's go little into understanding what is this kripanaha. So you will know the karpanya dosha. Okay. So he says that, hey, he, O Gargi, who in this world, without knowing what is the permanent one, what is the temporary one, he offers oblations into the fire. He's doing yajnam. He's performing sacrifices. He does all the tapas for many, many years without really understanding the true knowledge. If one is ignorant, if one does not understand God, but he just simply does yajnam, tapas, sacrifices, for n number of years, for thousands of years, he will still not be able to have the experience of God realization. He says that one who departs from this world without knowing. So one who is a kripanaha here, one who does all these things, but still don't know who is the Brahman, who is that divine, who is that infinite consciousness, what is that? If one does not understand that and still does even yajnam and tapas for thousands of years also, he will not know the true nature of God consciousness. Only one who departs from this world, knowing the truth, is a knower of Brahman. So it's very clear that don't do any of the activities without really understanding what. Blindly doing any activity, even if it is a homam, even if it is a yajnam, even if it is a tapas, if you do not have the true knowledge, if you do not have the right understanding, it is of no use. That is what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad only is talking. So it's not mere rituals that one needs to be focusing on. One needs to focus on removing that veil of ignorance and getting the light of true knowledge. So now here, what is dharma? What is adharma? So Arjuna is telling, I'm confused. Instruct me. Okay, I've surrendered to you. So what is the quality that you can learn here to implement is humility. Yeah, Arjuna, being very humble, full of humility, he surrenders to Krishna completely. So in our day-to-day life also, we feel that we have achieved so much, and we keep thinking that we are a very whether in terms of wealth, whether in terms of knowledge, whether in terms of the number of degrees that we have received, the number of the positions that we are in, all that may be there, but if one does not have the humility, okay, that does not get you anywhere. So whatever you are, however you are, the quality that one needs to be having is humility. So this is what is being taught here as one of the corporate lesson, is to be in a state of humility. So in a state of humility means, there is another one. It says in Bhagavad Nama Sankirtanam, Kalakshepo na kartavyah क्षीणमायुः क्षणे क्षणे यमस्य करुणा नास्ति kartavyam harikirtanam. Do not procrastinate. Kalakshepo na kartavyah. Do not, one of the corporate lessons, do not procrastinate. Kshino mayuhu. Do not waste time. But do your kartavyam as if you are doing it to the divine, with the name of the God within you, with having that the God, having with the thought that it is the divine which is helping you out, which is guiding you to complete your kartavyam. Do it with that. Do with the Ishwara Pranidhana. Do it with the remembrance of God in all your kartavyam. Okay. काल करे सो आज करे सो अब, पल में परलय होएगी, बहुरी करेगा कब. Whatever you have to do tomorrow, do it today. Whatever you have to do today, do it now. Don't know when, what will happen. Then who will take forward the work that needs to be completed? Yeah. But today, what is the reverse of Kabir's Doha? आज करे सो कल करे सो परसों, इतनी भी क्या जल्दी है, जब जीना है हमें परसों. That is, आज करे सो कल कर. Whatever have to be done today, let's do it tomorrow. Whatever was supposed to be done tomorrow, let's do it day after tomorrow. What is the need of hurrying? We are going to live a long life. Is it? We don't know. We don't know how situations change. Yeah. So do not procrastinate. Do not waste your time. Be humble. Have that humility within you and do what is required. So Bhagavad Gita Kabir's Doha, any of these things is not just a small piece of verse that, okay, fine, it's nice to know about it, but these are all which we can apply it in our. Okay? So life is very short, needs upgradation all the time. So do not go away without realizing our own self. One who goes away without it is Kripana. Okay, so connect all these things as to where we are heading towards. Okay, what is it that we are trying to understand? So here, let's look at what all types of students are there. And because we're talking about procrastination, wasting time, how should be our attitude towards all of this? Yeah. Ante Vasan. One who lives on the edge. That is, should I do? Should I not do? Should I learn? Should I not learn? Should I do it tomorrow? Should I do it the day after tomorrow? Okay, so one who keeps living on the edge. Next is Vidyarthi. One who makes an effort to learn. Yeah, but who is the best student? He's a Shishya, a disciple who completely surrenders, who has one goal, is to learn. Okay, that's the only goal that is. So what we should be is Arjuna, completely surrendering to the divine. Let's look at one more from Mundaka Upanishad about how we need to approach, what kind of a student we should be. Tadvignartham sagurumevabhigachet samitpanihi shrotriyam brahmanishtam. To know the absolute truth, you need to approach a guru. Which guru? Who is a knower of the scriptures. And not only just knower of the scriptures, but one who practices, one who is practically understanding the platform of or the mode of God realization. We need to approach a guru who is a knower as well as a practitioner who is situated in that God realization, who knows or who has the experience of God realization. So we need to approach such a guru for what? To know the absolute truth. Not just by hearing, but to practice and really experience that. So knowing the absolute truth is experiencing the absolute truth, understanding the true knowledge, understanding the infinite consciousness. So here, Arjuna, he simply surrenders. He just says, I cannot think anymore. I'm confused. So I'm completely surrendering to you. You enlighten me. Show me the right path of action. So he's completely surrendered with humility to Krishna and says, I'm taking refuge in you. You guide me. So this is what we all need to be in. We need to be like Arjuna, completely surrender to Sri Krishna and say, guide me. How do I proceed in my life? What am I supposed to be doing in a life? So like how you approach a guru, right? Who's a knower of the scriptures and one who is a practitioner. That is what Sri Krishna is, right? So Arjuna approached the right guru for his evolvement. So let us also pray that we find a guru who will be able to help us know the absolute truth, who will be able to give us the taste of the divine consciousness. We will see the next verses in the next video. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishnarpanamastu.